All right, get ready, because today we're going deep, deep into communication.
Oh, communication, huh?
But we're not just talking about the basics here.
No, no, no.
We're going to explore how to level up, become more confident, more persuasive in every conversation.
Oh, that's right. Think Jedi Master level communication skills.
I like that.
Yeah.
So to guide us on this journey, we're going to be pulling wisdom from a conversation between Mel Robbins, she's amazing,
I love Mel Robbins.
and Jefferson Fisher.
Oh, Jefferson Fisher, he's great.
He's a trial lawyer
Okay.
turned communication expert.
I mean, those two things kind of go hand in hand.
I know, right? But when I think trial lawyer,
Yeah.
I'm thinking winning, arguments, like very assertive.
Right.
But Fisher, he brings a totally different perspective to communication.
What's interesting about Fisher is he doesn't see communication as about winning.
Okay,
It's about connection, building bridges, understanding.
I like that.
Yeah, and he even has this incredible quote.
Okay,
What you say, I.S. who you are, pretty powerful, right?
that's a big one, yeah.
It makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's like almost like our words are like a mirror reflecting back to us, showing not just how other people see us, but how we see ourselves.
Yeah. And the beautiful thing is
Yeah.
anyone can get better at communicating. Doesn't matter if you're introverted, extroverted, outgoing, shy,
It doesn't matter, huh?
It's not about how much you talk.
Right?
It's about the quality of what you say.
So it's not about just being the loudest person in the room.
No, not at all.
Okay.
In fact, sometimes the most powerful thing we can do is
Yeah.
to just listen.
Hmm.
Really listen and then speak thoughtfully,
I like that.
even if it means saying less.
Okay, and Mel Robbins, she shares a really interesting story in this conversation
Oh, yeah.
about a dinner with her husband that, well, let's just say, didn't go so well.
Oh, we've all been there.
Yeah, like that argument where you're both like digging your heels in, the tension is just building and building.
You start bringing up things from 3 years ago.
Oh, it gets ugly.
Yeah.
But Fisher, he has this brilliant metaphor for describing arguments.
What's that?
He says they're like knots.
Knots.
Yeah, like a tangled up mess of rope.
Okay.
And he says that instead of trying to win the argument, which is like yanking on opposite ends of that rope,
Right.
we should approach it like we're trying to untangle the knot together.
I like that.
Because when you pull on a knot, it just gets tighter.
Of course.
But if you work together to loosen it, you can eventually unravel it.
You're getting to the heart of the problem that way.
Exactly.
Instead of just fighting about who is right or wrong.
Right. And Fisher says the first step to untangling that knot is to try to understand the other person's perspective.
Okay.
And he recommends asking this simple but super powerful question. What did you hear?
Oh, that's good.
Because sometimes what we think we said and what the other person actually heard can be two totally different things.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And that brings us to one of my favorite Fisherisms.
Yeah.
Directness is kind. Tiptoeing is cruel.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's so true.
It's so counterintuitive.
Yeah.
We often avoid these tough conversations because we're like, oh, this person can't handle it. But actually, that's a form of disrespect.
Yeah.
It's like we're assuming they're too fragile for honesty.
You're not giving them the credit they deserve.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this makes me think about, the sandwich method of feedback,
Oh, yeah.
where you try to cushion the blow by
Right.
sandwiching the criticism between two compliments.
Right.
But Fisher hates that.
Oh, he does not like that.
He says it's condescending and it actually undermines the message.
It's funny because I used to do that.
Yeah, we've all done it.
You think you're being nice.
Yeah.
But you're not really.
Not really. You got to be direct.
So instead of saying, hey, you're great at this, but, you could work on this, but overall you're awesome.
Yeah. It's more like, hey, I want to talk about something that could help you be even more effective.
That's it.
And Fisher, he even suggests using a phrase like, I'm telling you this because I know you can handle it.
Ah, that's good.
That's like a vote of confidence.
Yeah.
Right? You're like, I believe in you.
You're respecting their ability to handle it.
But you're also setting this stage for an honest conversation.
Yeah.
And speaking of setting the stage,
Yes.
Fisher, he recommends being super upfront about the purpose of a conversation.
Like what?
Like actually saying something like, I want to make sure this is a place where we could be completely honest with each other.
It's like you're laying down the ground rules.
Right. So you're avoiding confusion, wasted time, hurt feelings.
And speaking of not wasting time,
Yeah.
Fisher has some seriously effective tactics for handling those unavoidable situations where you encounter disrespect or belittling comments.
Oh, I want to hear this.
Yeah, this is good.
Because, I mean, it happens to all of us, right?
It does. It does.
Like someone says something that just pushes your buttons.
And you want to explode.
Yeah. But Fisher's advice is, you're going to love the silence.
Okay, just be quiet.
Just be quiet.
Really?
But it's not about ignoring them.
Okay.
It's about strategically using that silence to shift the dynamic. So you let that awkward pause just hang in the air for a few seconds.
I can feel the tension already.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a power move without saying anything.
You got it.
Okay.
It's like you're saying, I'm not even going to waste my breath on that.
Okay.
And then after that pause, you can deliver a calm but firm statement.
Okay.
Like, that's below my standard for a response.
I love that.
Right.
It's like you're not stooping to their level, but you're also not tolerating disrespect.
That's it.
All right, I'm ready for another Fisherism.
Okay, so what about those like really annoying, belittling comments?
Oh, yeah, the ones that just make your skin crawl.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Make them repeat themselves. Just say, what was that?
You got it.
Really?
Yeah, because when you make them repeat it,
Yeah.
it takes away the power.
Okay.
It becomes awkward.
Oh, I like that.
It loses its sting.
I can see how that would throw them off guard.
It totally does.
Yeah, it forces them to like actually think about what they said.
Yeah, and then if they do repeat it,
Yeah.
hit them with a question about their intent. They're like, did you say that to hurt me?
Oh, wow.
It puts them on the spot, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah,
It forces them to confront their own behavior.
that's it.
All of this sounds great in theory,
Yeah.
but what about for those of us who, maybe struggle with social anxiety?
Yeah, that's a real thing.
Speaking up could be terrifying,
It can be, absolutely.
especially in a crowd.
Yeah.
So what do we do then?
Fisher acknowledges that, social anxiety is a real challenge, but he emphasizes that it doesn't have to hold you back from having meaningful conversations.
Okay.
He suggests focusing on quality over quantity.
Okay. What does that mean?
So instead of trying to mingle with everyone at a party,
Right.
you choose one or two people that you genuinely connect with and have a deep conversation with them.
Okay.
It takes the pressure off.
Yeah.
And you can be more authentic that way.
I like that.
Yeah.
Less draining too.
Oh, yeah.
So is there anything else, any other tips for people with social anxiety?
Yeah, he suggests asking future-oriented questions like,
Right.
what are you excited about these days? Or what projects are you working on?
I like that.
It steers the conversation in a positive direction.
Right.
And it gives the other person a chance to share something they're passionate about.
Takes the pressure off of you.
It does. It does.
Okay. So we've talked about, navigating those tricky conversations.
Yeah.
But what about those situations where you have to interact with someone that you just, maybe don't click with or even actively dislike?
Oh, yeah. Those are awkward.
Yeah. Like, how do you keep your cool and not let their negativity, rub off on you?
Yeah, Fisher has a good one for this. Okay.
He says, don't argue with a fool because onlookers won't know the difference.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Sometimes you just got to walk away
Walk away.
because you can't win.
Okay.
You just can't.
So how do you handle those people then?
Just keep it brief, keep it neutral.
Okay.
You stick to safe topics, avoid getting drawn into arguments, and don't give them anything they can use against you later.
Almost like a transaction.
Yeah.
Like ordering a coffee.
Exactly. Okay. Okay.
You just get in and get out.
You're not trying to change their mind.
No.
Okay.
Just survive the interaction.
And what about those people who seem to specialize in pushing our buttons?
Oh, the button pushers.
Yeah, the ones who always have that snarky comment or belittling remark.
Yep. Those are the worst.
So how do you handle them?
You ready for this one?
I'm ready.
Make them repeat themselves.
Wait, what?
What's that? Seriously.
Yeah, because when you make them repeat it,
Yeah.
it takes away the power.
It becomes awkward. It loses its sting.
It's like it disarms them.
Totally.
Like that.
Yeah, they're expecting you to get upset.
Right.
And then you just,
Throw it right back at them.
yeah, it's kind of funny, actually.
I like that.
And if they do repeat it,
Yeah.
hit them with a question about their intent.
Okay.
Did you say that to hurt me?
Ooh, spicy.
It puts them on the spot.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got silence.
Yeah.
We've got making them repeat themselves.
Yeah.
Any other strategies for dealing with those button pushers?
Fisher actually shared a story about how he used this approach with his own grandfather,
Okay.
who was being disrespectful to employees at a store.
Oh, wow.
He set a firm boundary by saying, if this is how you're going to talk to people, I can't come with you.
I love that.
Yeah, it takes courage,
It does.
but it sends a powerful message.
Okay. And shifting gears a bit.
Okay.
Fisher also talks about the importance of separating the person from the problem.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's a way of addressing an issue without attacking the individual.
Okay.
So instead of saying, you're messy, you could say, the room could use some tidying up.
I like that.
Yeah, it removes the emotional charge.
Right, so you're not blaming.
Exactly.
I can see how that would be helpful with, like, family, especially kids.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of, you're always on your phone.
Right.
It could be, we need to find a better balance with screen time.
That's it.
It's amazing how just a little shift in language can, like, de-escalate a situation.
It can make a big difference.
And Fisher suggests using the word help.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I need help with this problem.
Yeah, that's good.
What are your needs? How can we work together?
It invites collaboration instead of confrontation.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm realizing that communication is so much more than just the words we say.
It is.
It's how we say it,
Yeah.
but even more importantly, why we say it.
That's a great insight.
Right.
Yeah.
And this leads us to another important concept that Fisher talks about,
Oh, yeah.
being a well rather than a waterfall.
Oh, I like that.
So I'm picturing like this serene well with, cool, clear water
Yeah.
versus this gushing waterfall that's just like loud and overwhelming.
Exactly.
And Fisher noticed that people who like overshare,
Yeah.
they often do it because they feel like they need to prove themselves or be believed.
They're trying too hard.
They are,
Yeah.
but it can backfire.
It can.
Right. Because you end up seeming less credible.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So being a well means having depth and knowledge, but dispensing it thoughtfully
And at the right time.
at the right time.
Yeah.
So it's about being intentional with our words
Yeah,
and recognizing that like less can be more.
exact.
And it's about respecting the other person's time and attention.
You're not forcing your ideas on them.
Right. You're not trying to make them drink from a fire hose.
No.
It's about offering a refreshing sip of water when they're thirsty. That's a good way to put it.
And it all comes back to recognizing that our words have power.
They do.
And we have a choice in how we use that power.
Every word matters.
It really does.
Yeah.
We can use them to build up, tear down, connect, isolate, inspire, discourage.
It's a powerful tool.
It is.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great place to pause for now.
Really?
We've covered so much already.
I know it's a lot to take in.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But we're not done yet.
Oh, there's more.
There's so much more.
Okay.
In part 2, we're going to go deeper into Fisher's concept of like conversational goals and conversational values. And we're going to discover how to actually apply these principles to create like more fulfilling relationships and achieve greater success in all areas of our lives.
I can't wait.
Me too. Stay tuned, folks.
Don't go anywhere.
This deep dive is just getting started.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back.
We're diving deeper into powerful communication, right?
Deeper than ever, we're going to be focusing on this idea of conversational goals and conversational values.
Oh, yeah. Those were super intriguing.
So important.
Okay, let's break it down.
Okay.
What exactly are conversational goals?
Think of it like this. You know, when you go on a trip, you usually have a destination in mind, right?
Right. You don't just wander aimlessly.
Well, conversational goals are kind of like that destination, but for your conversations.
So it's not just about chatting randomly,
Nope. It's about being intentional.
having a purpose,
Yeah.
a reason for engaging.
Exactly.
And you shared an example from Fisher's experience as a trial lawyer
Right.
where he would like carefully listen to the witnesses, not just to come with his next question, but to understand the bigger picture.
Yeah, he was thinking several steps ahead.
So even in a courtroom, he's thinking about the overall goal, not just winning that one point.
Right. And this applies to all our conversations, work, relationships, even just ordering a coffee.
It's like having a roadmap for the conversation, guiding you towards a specific outcome.
That's a great way to put it. It's about being strategic with your words.
And I bet this is super helpful when it comes to those tricky situations, like dealing with disrespect.
Absolutely. When you have a clear goal, you're less likely to get sidetracked by emotions.
Right, because you know what you want to achieve.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's goals. What about these conversational values?
This is about defining your guiding principles for communication, the compass that keeps you on course.
Okay, so like our personal code of conduct for how we interact with others?
Precisely. And Fisher has some great ones. Remember, he talked about being a bridge.
Oh, yeah, building connections, finding common ground,
But if that's not possible, he aims to be a lighthouse.
offering guidance, even when there are disagreements.
Right. And my favorite, if there's room for kindness, I will use it.
It's such a beautiful sentiment. It's like choosing to be the bigger person, even when it's hard.
And his last value is tell them who I am without telling them my name.
I love that one. It's about letting your actions speak louder than words.
Exactly. It's about authenticity.
Okay, I'm sold on conversational values, but how do we actually define them for ourselves?
Fisher suggests, starting with this question, who do my words say that I am?
Ooh, that's deep.
It's about taking an honest look at how we're communicating and if it aligns with who we want to be.
And if there's a gap, we need to figure out how to bridge it.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to ask for feedback from people you trust.
That's a good point. Sometimes we need an outside perspective.
Absolutely. We all have blind spots.
So once we have a better grasp on our goals and values, how do we actually put them into practice?
Well, it starts with awareness. Before a conversation, especially an important one, take a moment to consider what you want to achieve and how you want to be perceived.
Okay, so it's like setting an intention.
Exactly. And throughout the conversation, check in with yourself. Are you staying true to your values?
It's like a mental checklist, making sure I'm on track.
Precisely. And don't be afraid to course correct if needed.
All right, this is making me realize that communication is so much more than just words.
It really is. It's about intention. It's about purpose.
And it feels empowering, like I have more control over how I communicate.
That's the goal, to become more conscious and skillful communicators.
Now, what about those situations where, maybe you have to interact with someone you don't necessarily like?
Oh, this can be tough.
It can be awkward. How do you keep your cool and not let their negativity affect you?
Remember Fisher's advice. Don't argue with a fool because onlookers won't know the difference.
Right. Sometimes it's better to walk away.
Exactly. Protect your energy.
So in those cases, just keep it brief, neutral.
That's it. Stick to safe topics. Don't engage in arguments.
Like a transaction, just get in and get out.
You got it. You're not trying to win them over.
Okay. And what about the button pushers? Those people who just love to get a rise out of you?
Oh, yeah. They're out there.
So what's the strategy there?
Make them repeat themselves.
Seriously? What was that?
Yep. It takes away their power.
I love it. It forces them to think about what they just said.
Exactly. And if they do repeat it, hit them with, did you say that to hurt me?
Ooh, bold move, but I like it.
It puts them on the spot, doesn't it?
It does. It holds them accountable.
And remember, silence is golden.
Right. Sometimes the best response is no response.
Especially with those types of people.
Now, Fisher also talked about separating the person from the problem.
Oh, that's a crucial one.
So what does that actually look like?
Instead of saying, you're messy, you say, the room could use some tidying up.
So you're focusing on the behavior, not the person.
Exactly. It takes the sting out of it.
This would be so helpful with kids. Instead of, you're always on your phone, it's, we need to find a better balance with screen time.
That's it. You're addressing the issue, not attacking them.
And Fisher also recommends using the word help.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Like, I need help with this, or what are your needs?
It invites collaboration.
Instead of turning it into a battle.
Exactly. Communication should be about connecting, not conquering.
This has been so eye-opening.
Oh, I know, right?
It's like a whole new way of thinking about communication.
It really is.
And I think this is a good point to pause. We've covered so much.
I know, it's a lot to digest.
But don't go anywhere.
There's more to come.
In part 3, we're going to explore how all of this connects to, like, deeper fulfillment, greater success, and a more meaningful life.
I can't wait.
Me neither. This deep dive is just getting started. We're back, ready to wrap up our deep dive on powerful communication.
We've covered so much ground already.
It's been amazing, but there's still more to explore, right?
Oh, absolutely. We're going to bring it all together now, connecting these communication strategies to, like, deeper fulfillment.
Okay.
More success and a more meaningful life.
I love that. It's like, how do we take all this knowledge and actually make it work for us?
Exactly. And it all comes back to that idea of what you say, is who you are.
Right. It's not just about words.
No, it's about shaping our identity.
Okay, so how do we do that?
By being intentional about our communication, setting clear goals.
Like we talked about, those conversational goals.
Right. Knowing where we want to end up before we even start talking.
So it's not just about reacting or rambling.
No, it's about having a purpose, a strategy.
And I remember you shared that example of Furner as a trial lawyer, how he would listen to witnesses so carefully, not just for the next question, but to understand the bigger picture.
He was always playing the long game.
So even in a courtroom, he's demonstrating the power of having a conversational goal.
Absolutely. He knew what he wanted to achieve.
And this applies to everything, right? Work, relationships, even just ordering a pizza.
It does. It does. Having a goal gives you clarity and direction.
It's like having a roadmap helps you stay on track.
Exactly. And it prevents those emotional detours.
Now, what about those conversational values? How do we make sure those are guiding our communication?
This is about defining our principles, what we stand for.
It's like our inner compass, helping us navigate those tricky situations.
Right. Remember Fisher's value of being a bridge?
Oh, yeah, building connections.
But if that's not possible, he aims to be a lighthouse.
Offering support and guidance, even when there are disagreements.
And my favorite, if there's room for kindness, I will use it.
It's a powerful reminder that we always have a choice in how we respond.
And his final value? Tell them who I am without telling them my name.
It's about letting our actions speak louder than words.
Exactly. Authenticity at its finest.
Okay, I'm loving this, but I'm still a little fuzzy on how to define those values for myself.
It can be a bit abstract, but Fisher suggests starting with a simple question, who do my words say that I am?
That's a good one. It's about reflecting on if our communication aligns with who we want to be.
Right, and if there's a gap, we need to figure out how to bridge it.
And don't be afraid to ask for feedback from people you trust.
Absolutely, a fresh perspective can be so valuable.
Okay, so let's say we have a better understanding of our goals and values. How do we actually put them into practice?
It starts with awareness. Before a conversation, especially an important one, take a moment to consider what you want to achieve and how you want to come across.
It's like setting an intention, a little mini meditation.
Exactly, and then during the conversation, check in with yourself.
Like a mental checklist. Am I staying true to my values?
And don't hesitate to adjust your approach if needed.
This is so powerful. It feels like we have more control over how we communicate.
That's the goal, to become more conscious and intentional.
And as we're wrapping up, I'm realizing that this is just the beginning. It's a journey.
It is. It's an ongoing process of growth and discovery.
And as Fisher reminds us, you have a power you haven't tapped into yet, the power of your words.
So true. Each word we speak has the potential to create something.
So as we close out this deep dive on powerful communication, I want to leave you with one final question. What one change will you make in your communication starting today?
It could be a small shift, a subtle tweak, but it could have a ripple effect, leading to deeper connections, greater success, and a more fulfilling life.
It's all about unlocking that power within us.
And using it for good.
Thanks for joining us on this journey into the world of powerful communication. Until next time, keep those conversations flowing and remember the power of your words.